Something really big is happening in the world of AI, like right now. We're witnessing a major shift. We're moving beyond AI that just, generates stuff to AI that can actually get things done. So let's dive into this evolution from what we call a passive model to a truly active agent.
Okay, so this is the core idea you got to get. On one side, you have AI models. Think of them like super specialized experts. They're fantastic at one thing, like writing an email or creating an image from a prompt. But on the other side, you have AI agents. These guys are the doers. They can handle an entire complex project from start to finish. It's really the difference between an AI that can tell you how to build a spreadsheet versus an AI that can actually go get the data, clean it up, and build that spreadsheet for you.
And that, of course, leads to the million-dollar question. How do you actually pull that off? How do you give a language model, well, digital hands, so it can interact with a computer and do real work? The answer is all about giving it the right tools. So let's pop the hood and take a look at the core components that give these AI agents their incredible new powers. First up is the brain of the whole operation, the Responses API. Seriously, think of this as the orchestrator. It manages that whole back and forth between the AI model and its tools. The model says, I want to do this, and the API makes sure it happens, then reports the results back. It creates this constant loop of thinking, doing, and learning.
So if the API is the brain, then the shell tool, well, that's the hands. And what's so amazing here is how simple and powerful it is. Just by giving the AI access to a command line, which is, the most fundamental way to talk to a computer, you unlock this massive range of abilities.
And I'm not just talking about running a little bit of Python code here. Oh no, we're talking about full-on interaction. This agent can use standard command line tools like grep to search through files or curl to pull down data from a website. It can even compile and run programs in other languages like Go or Java, or even spin up a web server. This is what gives it the flexibility to tackle really complex stuff.
Of course, giving an AI this much power, you need a safe place for it to do its work, right? That's where the hosted container comes in. It's basically a secure, totally isolated computer environment, a sandbox, where the agent can do its thing without any risk to the outside world. Inside this secure little workspace, the agent has everything it needs. It gets its own file system for managing documents. It can use databases like SQLite to handle structured data. And, super importantly, its access to the internet is tightly controlled and monitored. It's all about giving it power, but with safety rails. Now, building all this was definitely not easy. There were two huge technical challenges that had to be solved to make these agents both reliable and safe to use. First, there's the memory problem. When you have a really long, multi-step task, an AI's memory, its context window, can fill up, and it starts to, well, forget what it was doing. The solution is a really smart process called compaction. The model actually looks back at the whole conversation and creates a super efficient summary, letting it stay on track for way, way longer. And second, the security problem. Just letting an AI roam free on the internet is a big no-no. So the solution here has two parts. First, an egress proxy acts like a bouncer at a club, checking all the network traffic. And second, something called secret injection means the AI never actually sees sensitive stuff like API keys. It just sees a placeholder, and the real secret gets swapped in securely right at the last second. Okay, so we've seen all the individual pieces and the smart solutions to the hard problems. Now let's put it all together and see what this looks like in a real end-to-end workflow. To make these agents work smarter, not harder, you don't want them reinventing the wheel every single time. And that's the whole idea behind agent skills. Think of them as prepackaged, reusable playbooks for common tasks. A skill is really just a simple folder with some instructions that the agent can find and use all on its own. So here's how it all comes together. Let's say you ask an agent to make a spreadsheet using live data. First, it discovers the right skill for that job. Then it makes a plan. It uses its tools to go get the data. Then it processes and structures that data inside its safe container. And finally, it generates the output, your finished spreadsheet. It's this beautiful, seamless loop. So let's zoom out. Why is this whole move from a model to an agent such a fundamental, game-changing leap for artificial intelligence? The reason this changes absolutely everything is that it transforms AI from a passive tool into an active participant in our digital lives. AI is no longer just for brainstorming ideas or drafting an email. It's becoming a true partner that can actually execute complex projects for us.
The core belief here is that language models are meant to do more than generating text, images, and audio. This whole new platform is designed to let them tackle complex, real-world tasks at a huge scale. It's really about unlocking a whole new level of what AI can do. And that really leaves us with one final fascinating thought. For years, we've been asking AI to tell us things. Now, for the first time, we can ask it to do things. So the real question is, what are we going to build next?